Hello everyone, I welcome you all to our webinar today. My name is Isabel. In a few minutes, I will be extending a warm welcome to Edgar. Our topic today is transforming teams through skill development with ELO Learning. Here's a little more information for you before we start. You will be muted during the webinar, but are welcome to ask your questions in the question box at any time. After the webinar, we will of course take the time to answer them. You hardly need to take notes. You will receive the training materials relatively soon. And now I'm looking forward to a great presentation from Edgar. Edgar, I'll hand over to you now.
Thank you and welcome from my side as well. Today I will show you how you will be able to transform teams through skills development with ELO Learning. So first of all, we'll have a look on the need for skills development, why you should develop the skills of your employees, and what possible reasons can be brought in for this. Then we'll have a look on developing skills of existing employees in the company. After this short trip into ELO Learning, what you can do with ELO Learning and what is possible with it. Then I'll show you how ELO Learning works, what you need for ELO Learning, and what our customers say. And in the end, we have a summary and time for your questions and answers. And if you have a question during the webinar, then just ask them in your questions box. We will answer them in the end. So let's have a look on skills development, the need for skills development. So just think of it. You have unskilled employees and experienced employees in your company, and the skill level may be different. So an unskilled or a new employee, they don't have the knowledge like an experienced employee has in your company. And the overall skill level depends on the number of skilled or experienced and unskilled employees. So let's say in your company, the skill level is like this. So, well, it's good, but it's not perfect. But the thing is, when you then hire more new employees, or when the amount of unskilled employees is very high, then the skill level of the company is not as good as a skill level with more experienced employees. And that's the so-called skill gap. So the gap between unskilled and experienced employees. And the thing is, when the skill gap is too high, so when you have too many unskilled employees, then the skill level, the overall skill level of your company is decreasing. And there was a question on 600 US HR professionals in 2021. The question was, do you believe there is a gap in the skills your organization needs and what your employees possess right now? And in 2021, only 55% said yes, they believe that there is a gap in the skills, and the rest said no. So 14% said no, and 31% were unsure. But 2 years later, something changed, because in the 2023 report, 69% said yes, that there is a skill gap in the organization and that they have to do something. So the skill gap is growing. Many reasons, because you don't find the employees you would like to have, so you have to hire employees with less skills, and then you have to invest more in training or something. But there's some other things what you can do against the skill gap. So for example, when we have more experienced employees, which not grow on a tree, then the skill gap gets smaller and the skill level of your company increases. But the thing is, you don't find experienced employees so easy as you find, well, unskilled employees. The other thing is what you can do when you don't find the experienced employees. you could raise the skill level of the unskilled employees. And then the overall skill level in your company will increase, it will get higher. But how can you do this? So let's have a look on how we can develop the skills. So when you hire a new employee in your company, then they are unskilled. They don't have the knowledge which they would need for being a skilled employee. So which things should you develop? For example, corporate culture and values, the products and the services which you sell or which you produce in your company, the corporate structures and the processes, workflow, workplace specific skills, compliance and legal aspects, technology and systems, customer service and communication, and so on. So all those things should be developed in the beginning when a new employee starts in your company, or when you want to develop the skills of existing employees. So how can you do it? How can you develop the skills of your employees? Well, you can make it in an on-site training, or with an online training, or with videos, for example, or with an e-learning. So those are different types of developing the skills. On-site training, you have to sit in a classroom for a day, a week, or something else, and then you get the knowledge for this. Or you make an online training where you don't have to sit in a classroom, which can be done from the typical workplace or from home office. You can create some videos for this, or you can create an e-learning. And it would be nice when all those things were available in one platform. So different types of trainings to develop the skills of the employees in one platform. And that's what ELO Learning is, a so-called learning management system. So in ELO Learning, you can create those contents, those trainings, those learnings, and you can bring it to your employees. So how does it work? What you can see here is an example of ELO Learning. We have different course types in there. We have a virtual classroom. We have an e-learning. So different types of trainings in here. Which types of trainings can you provide to your customer, to your employees? Well, e-learnings, on-site trainings, online trainings, and videos for this. It's for course management. It's a learning portal where the employees can subscribe to a training by themselves in the self-service with ELO Learning, and it has some social learning things as well for active participation. So, as I said, you can provide different course formats for this, an online training, an e-learning, on-site trainings, or training videos as well. And after you have finished the training, sorry for this, you can create learning paths as well. So a learning path is a combination of different trainings that build on each other. For example, when we go back to our example, we have company culture and information, and then we have the systems which exist in the company and how to work with them. Then we have the products and services and so on. So the learning paths is a combination of different trainings that build on each other, and when you have finished one training, then you can start the next one. And those learning paths you can use for developing the skills of new employees or of existing employees as well. The self-service, or the possibility to enroll in a course by yourself as an employee, is the so-called self-service. The employees can take part in training courses independently, and they can take part when they want to, and well, they can even make a training a second time, a third time, and so on. So The possibility to provide the trainings to existing employees with the self-service is one thing which you can do in ELO Learning. And when you have finished the training, then you get a certificate and a confirmation for already completed trainings and learning paths. So that's what ELO Learning provides. It's a self-service for your employees or for you as an employee, and you can enroll in the course by yourself, or you can use it, for example, for onboarding new employees with the learning path. So how does ELO Learning work? Well, the view which we saw right now was the employee's view, the self-service view. But you have to do some things before they can use ELO Learning by themselves. Because first of all, you have to create the content. As I said, ELO Learning is a learning management solution, and the content is created with a third-party authoring tool. There are some authoring tools available, and they are, well, most of them are compatible with ELO Learning. So you have to create the content. You have to create the video in e-learning. You don't have to create the content for an on-site training. That's clear, because that's only an appointment which you make. But for the e-learnings, for the videos, and for the trainings, you have to create the content with a third-party authoring tool. And then you have to create the course in ELO Learning. You can create an e-learning, virtual classroom, face-to-face trainings, or training videos. And you can define some things which the employees should have completed, some trainings which the employees should have completed before enroll to the training or before participating in the training. Or you can create a course where they don't have to bring anything with them. So it's a course for everyone. And then after you've created the course, so first create the content, then create the course, then you can create the learning paths, because the learning path consists of different courses and course formats with defined requirements. So you can create the learning path, which starts with a virtual classroom, the get to know each other, for example, then is continued with an e-learning or in face-to-face training or some training videos. And after this, when the learning path is finished, then the employee or the participant gets a certificate and has finished the training. So that's how to create the content or the trainings in ELO Learning. Creating the content, create the course, and if necessary, create a learning path. And then the users can use ELO Learning as needed. So you can add a new participant when you're the learning manager in your company, or when you work in the academy. They can enroll by themselves, sure, in the self-service, but you can add them as well. Then the employee can complete the training course, and maybe he has to do a final test as well. And after this, he gets a certificate and a confirmation. That's the proof of the completed courses. So with ELO Learning, you have a wide range of course options. You have different course types with which you can develop the skills of your employees. You can improve the qualification process with the learning paths in your company. You can use templates for confirmations and certificates, or if you have existing one, you can reuse them. Sure. You even can create meaningful reports for long-term course evaluation. So you can see if the course which you provide works fine, or if you have to do some improvements, because the knowledge which you want to transform, or the skill which you wanted to develop for your employees, well, needs some improvement. And it's available out of the office as well. So the employees can use ELO Learning when they are out of the office, when they are in their home office, or well, they can even use it on their mobile devices or on the tablet, and can develop their own skills while they are out of the office. So what do you need for ELO Learning? First of all, the business solution ELO Learning. For creating the content in the business solution ELO Learning, you need an authoring tool. And then you need the ELO ECM suite. The ELO ECM suite is the base for ELO Learning. It's an enterprise content management where you can manage your documents and information in a secure central location. On top of that, you have to use the business solution ELO Learning. It's a learning management system, and provides a central learning platform for your employees, new ones or existing ones. And then you can create the content with a third-party authoring tool. And the ELO ECM suite works very good with ELO Learning, or other way around, ELO Learning works best with the ELO ECM suite. Because with the ELO ECM suite, you can do document management, you can file your documents and information in a central location, and you can use it for other things as well, not only for using it as a learning platform. And then we have ELO Learning, which you can access from the ELO ECM suite as well, or you can access it from the learning portal, which we saw earlier. And they can use it for themselves. They can use it as a self-service and so on. So, but there's more. You don't only have the possibility to use the ELO ECM suite as a learning platform with ELO Learning. You can do some more things with it as well, because there are some other solutions available for your needs. For example, ELO Recruiting, where you can find new employees. Then contract management to manage the contracts in your company, ELO HR for digital personal files, ELO Knowledge for knowledge management in your company, and ELO Learning for learning management. So there's some more solutions. So you can start with the ELO ECM suite and with ELO Learning, and then at a further step, you can do ELO Recruiting or contract or knowledge or HR. So what do our customers say to ELO Learning? We have some customers, well, sure, we have some customers. They use ELO Learning by themselves in their company. For example, the University of Toronto uses the business solution ELO Learning as intended as a platform for knowledge exchange. They provide the trainings and e-learnings to the students with the business solution ELO Learning. Another customer, it's the Budapest Public Utilities. They use ELO Learning for training for their existing employees and to onboard new employees when they start in the company. They use it for recurring trainings as well. So when you have to do training once a year or once every 2 years, then it's done with ELO Learning. And the third one is Wiener Linien Public Transport of Vienna. They use ELO Learning as a learning platform for onboarding new employees and ongoing training for existing ones. So they have created learning paths for using ELO, for using other applications which are available in the company, and they have done it with ELO Learning. They've created a ton of training videos, so they use it every day. So that's the summary. What can you do with ELO Learning, or why you should use ELO Learning for skills development of your existing or new employees? You have a wide range of course options. You can create e-learnings, face-to-face trainings, virtual classrooms, or blended learning courses as well. It's a dedicated education portal. So when someone is looking for a training or a course or an e-learning or something, then the employees know where to look at. You can even use it with your own intranet or something where the employees can enroll in courses by themselves with the self-service learning portal, which is part of ELO Learning. You can create learning paths to visualize the qualification process, and the learners know the next step. So, for example, create the learning path for onboarding new employees. Then the employee starts, and then he can start with his learning path with the different courses, trainings, and so on. And at the end of the day, he will get the certificate for completing the learning path. Confirmations and certificates, you can use your own ones or the existing ones. And when the employees have finished training, finished the learning path, they get the confirmation and the certificate. It's available out of the office, so you can complete the e-learning courses or sign up for new ones outside of the office while you're on your way or while you're sitting in the home office or something else. You don't have to be there to complete your courses. And you can make a long-term course evaluation at the end of the day with the built-in reporting tool. So then you can see how many employees passed the final test and how many did not. Were the questions too difficult, or didn't we provide the right information for the employees to develop their skills? So that's it. Thank you for your attention. That was skills development with ELO Learning. If you have any questions, then you can ask them in your questions box right now. And if there are no questions, then, well, again, thank you for your attention.
Yeah, thank you very much for this great presentation, Edgar. Now I would like to tell you about our upcoming webinars. Just a second. Yes. You can register via the following link on the website elo.com/webseminar. Please keep in mind you can register up to 1 hour before the webinar starts. Thank you very much for attending the webinar today. I hope to welcome you at our next webinar as well. Until then, have a great day. Goodbye.